everybody, SONGOSHUAKU'S here! And welcome to this pre-movie discussion for what will go down as the 20th movie in this franchise. I'm talking about Dragon Ball Super, the movie Broly. But first, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button followed by the notification bell so that way you are notified of my content as soon as it's released. Alright, and joining me is TheLinuxVirus, and I'm gonna start off with the text that I sent you, Linux. I was like, yo! He tapped out! Toriyama tapped out! Toriyama has tapped out to the popularity of Broly. This is something we never thought we would see. I mean, we all knew how popular Broly was throughout the years, you know, since he debuted in, what was it, like 93, 94, one of those years, and all the video games, basically all the non-official stuff that didn't come from Toriyama's mind. We saw Broly was never in, so, you know, when this came out, who this character, some speculated maybe Broly because of the green aura, but majority of people didn't really think it would be him. It's like, is it actually gonna be Broly? And it got revealed as such, and I was blown away. I am shocked, because only Bardock has managed to make his way into the official continuity of Toriyama's Dragon Ball, and no one else ever did. And when you hear about the fact that Toriyama himself basically went ahead and, you know, as the story goes, his editor suggested Broly. He actually watched all 3 movies and decided to make him more interesting. At first, I was like, Broly, because I really want the Dragon Ball series to move forward with new characters. I was expecting a new Saiyan, for those of you who follow the Funimation dub. But I began to get more interested because of the idea that Broly was going to be, essentially, Toriyama was going to take the Broly character and, basically make him more interesting, as he said, because let's face it, that story about him, his reasons and motivations for hating Goku, I mean...
We were born on the same day. You cried and woke me up, so I hate you for life. Broly in a nutshell. God, that was terrible.
When I first had these, what was it, a Pojo Dragon Ball Z magazine, so I kind of spoiled myself on everything that wasn't released in America, and when I read, the review of what was gonna happen in movie 8, I was like, what? He makes him cry when he's a baby? And then when you actually see the footage that, oh, it's a case where they're crying literally just minutes after being born. What? What? And everything. But I actually thought Broly's backstory was more fascinating with King Vegeta and his father Pericus, and when he got stabbed and everything and stuff like that. Like, now that may have been that was definitely a better motivation. He should have been saying Vegeta instead of Kakarot all through this, you know. Yeah, man, I was shocked. I was blown away, and it's now begun to sunk in what's happening here. It seems this is going to be more so for fan service than they've been really doing this a lot in Super. But I think financially, they're set. There's no need to worry if this movie might flop or not, because, the second you put Broly's name on the marquee, Toriyama and Toei, they saw the money coming in, you know, you like the, WWE song says, money, 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 money. So, yeah, man, we'll go then and break down some of Broly's character, Broly, the new designs and all that stuff, the trailer, and just our thoughts on Broly as a character in general. But right now, let's just say focus. Linux, I'll let you take the floor. What was your reaction? Because you didn't reply to the text. I didn't get your feedback until the trailer dropped, and I asked you about the trailer. So, what was your thoughts? I don't even know if I was the one to break the news to you, or did you find out? What was your news in general? I mean,
I already knew it was Broly. Like, by the time you text me, I'd already watched that trailer like 4 times.
Oh, no, I'm talking about before the trailer. I'm talking about when they first dropped the promotional, the poster, because the poster was the first one. Yeah.
My initial reaction...
Did I break the news to you, by the way, or did you find out before?
No, I heard it on Twitter and I found it out on Facebook, so I kind of already knew. And then, like, when you sent me, like, the link for the poster, that kind of, like, confirmed my suspicion. Because at first I thought it was, like, another rumor, which I had already kind of had speculations they might go the Broly route. But, like, when I saw it, it was one of those things where it's like, oh, wow, he actually chose to opt for that. So then, you know, gears start turning. Because it's like, you know, as cool as a character that Broly could be, you know, doesn't necessarily have the most fleshed out backstory, didn't really have too much to go off of. So the biggest thing for me was he going to keep any of the already established lore around Broly, or was he going to, you know, go in a different direction? And then shortly after that, we got the trailer, which, thank God, because
even before the trailer, they launched the interview straight Toriyama's actual statements about, you know, he right after that they were launched that he was going to totally basically reboot the character and bring him into the official story. Yeah, what was your thoughts on Toriyama's statements on the direction he wanted to take this? A lot of people, myself included, love the line where Toriyama's like, you know, I looked at this and I just kind of thought to myself that I can make him a more interesting character.
I actually like it. It kind of gives you enthusiasm for what to expect when this character is actually brought on board. Like I said, the original Broly was literally an infant who was upset at Baby Goku because Baby Goku cried, woke him up, and started him crying. Like, there was no legit... Like, if you really think about his hatred for Goku, it's completely unwarranted in every way, shape, or fashion.
Right.
Like, he was already stronger than Goku as a kid. Like, legions stronger than Goku. He was born with, if we're going off of the old lore, with a base power level of 10,000. He was he was stronger than Nappa and literally slightly less strong than Vegeta.
Same power level as his father, in fact, based on the original special, not minus. We'll get to minus later. But yeah, 10,000 power level 10,000. And dude, you notice he actually grew up to basically be stronger than Goku. It wasn't until the ending, when we'll talk about the ending of the first movie at the end.
Yeah.
But essentially until the one shot from Goku ending,
talk about main character privilege.
Dude, Broly was stronger, so it's like I never got that. Like I think they said like I gotta remember because I only watched the Japanese version once, but I don't remember. Did they say something along the line that Goku crying sort of meant he was gonna be stronger than Broly? Yet it doesn't happen until the last part of that bout that Goku gets stronger than Broly. So it's like, why are you crying? You're stronger than him. You grew up stronger than him, and you whooped him and all his comrades' butts all through the film until the very end. So it's like. Yeah, it's like, man.
Wait, is that the logic that they went with?
I don't remember. It's been so long since I've watched the movie, but I forget if it is. And please correct us if I'm wrong, but I was wondering, that's why I was trying to remember, is that the logic that was the idea that because Goku was crying, it would mean that he would get stronger, which didn't even happen till the end of the film. So it's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I can't confirm that. But I think you can agree with me, Linux, that when it comes down to the real part of the backstory that I thought was very interesting with Broly was the way King Vegeta handled him and Paragus. Now that's good motivation right there. That's why I was That's why I was joking. Like he should have his hatred for Vegeta or just all Saiyajins in general.
Yeah, and even if that was the general basis of his hatred for Goku, I would understand it. You know, because how they set it up, which was great, and it made perfect sense. King Vegeta, who, you know, has this infant born with not too far of a power level from his, is like, whoa, wait a minute. We got to control this, you know? So let's get rid of him. And obviously when Paragus doesn't agree with it, for obvious reasons, you know, he's like, well, you know, you're screwed too. Tries to kill both of them. Broly ends up saving both him and his father. And they go on this, you know, bout for vengeance. Or the quest for vengeance, sorry. That makes sense, you know? And then it would be more, or it would make more sense if he had a hatred towards Vegeta versus Goku. But just for them to have him like not like Goku for whatever reason, you know, it just doesn't make, like, that first movie did not make any sense. His whole motivation as a villain did not make sense. I just want to point this out in the trailer, because I think I was talking to you about it earlier, but that's one of the reasons why I like that subtle hint of him hitting Vegeta first. Like, in the trailer, when him and Goku are standing right next to each other, the very first person Broly charges at isn't Goku, it's Vegeta. So maybe if this story is more fleshed out and they did choose to opt for that route, you know, that makes perfect sense. That would be the first person he would try to attack.
That's one's part of the first Broly movie, that whole sequence of King Vegeta up until Frieza blows up the planet. Like, that whole part right there is something I definitely would not mind them mind Toriyama bringing into this. But yeah, we'll have definitely more time to talk about the Broly character. But let's start with what I think is the most biggest amazing thing going on right now here, and that's the visuals. So for those out there who are not aware, I believe you pronounce his name Tadayoshi Yamamuro. He has served as the Dragon Ball animation director or supervisor for several years, almost over half a decade plus and everything. And he designed the original, the animation direction for the original Broly movie. Of course, Toriyama himself is the one who designed the Broly character. Tokao Koyama, I believe his name is. He's the one who originally created the Broly character. In terms of the story, he's the one responsible for, I believe, writing these movies as is and coming up with the motivations for these characters that, you know, some people have complained about. But yeah, he's the one that created. Now, in terms of the animation, like I was saying, Yamamuro, what's happened in recent times is a lot of fans have started to not really feel Yamamuro's designs, feeling they've been looking stiff. I've heard that Goku and Vegeta's hair has gone from looking flowy and everything to looking like Legos and stuff and everything. And just a lot of people really wanted a change for the look of Dragon Ball, especially with Toriyama's design changing. So that's where, as it dropped originally, we got Norihiro Shintani. He is the one that came in with these newer designs, which were basically you had the color shading was really left to a minimum, which just so happens to give the animators a lot more room to go ahead and be freedom with the way they can animate the characters and the movements. And we saw that in the original teaser, and we finally got to see these designs, which have been showing week by week or a month or a few months every couple of weeks, and we got to see that in this trailer. And I remember I told you, Linux, like, if anyone doubted him, we all must now bow down to Norihiro Shintani, because, man, the animation, the look in this trailer was gorgeous. And we still get some multi-layer shading, because the only thing with me is, like, I do like Dragon Ball to have multiple shading levels of shading from light to dark, as opposed to like one light side, one dark side. And we get that from Yuya Takahashi, who was an animator that came into Dragon Ball Super and took the entire series by storm with his animation. He put an end to people saying that Dragon Ball Super had bad animation, and I could definitely see him with like those shots that he did with the eyes, the multiple shading he had there, but just everything looked really good and consistent. Like, even if I can tell the difference sometimes, these designs, they look great. I mean, like, the shot where you see a younger Paracus in the Saiyan, Saiyan for those who watch Funimation, the way you had the yellow tint in the background, the way there's an explosion, and just the way they played with colors, and how epic it looks too with the way they did the auras, like Broly coming out under the ground when he reaches his legendary Super Saiyan form. Might be called Berserk for all we know in this movie and everything. So I mean, just the whole animation, like the way it looked when Frieza and Broly are fighting, it reminded me of dynamic, and definitely a really good choice of using the icy background to their advantage. It really helps all the colors pop. I love the new jacket designs for Goku and Vegeta. I like the way the hair looks now with Super Saiyan Blue. It does look more flowy with the more rounder shapes. The aura effects look great, not taking away from the actual artwork. And I do dig Broly's new design. Broly's new design, I think, I really am very interested. It looks like he's a legend. Yeah, like he's something out of ancient times, whereas before he kind of looked more like he was like an ancient Egyptian god before, and now here he looks yeah, like I said, more legendary. And then he has the new Saiyan armor that we saw, very similar to Togoma back in Fakatu no F / Resurrection F. And what else with the new Broly designs? I love that Toriyama is still keeping Broly very muscular, because in recent times it seems that he's really decided to slim and trim down his characters. So I'm really cool. I dig the new designs with the scars. Pericus, man, Pericus, he looks epic. He looks awesome. He has his new little skirt thing going on at the bottom, and I even like in the design the attention to detail. It shows you where the tail is underneath and stuff, and he looks like more old like the old man Pericus, much older than in the original film. And this Pericus, because I'll get to it more when we talk about it, but Pericus I thought came off like a wuss in the original movie. Here, this Pericus looks like, I'm coming and I'm taking all you Saiyans down with my, I don't know if Broly's gonna be his son, but obviously he looks more in control of Broly this time around. No, Pericus just, there's something about him that just seems more confident and better than what we got in the first movie. I mean, I know me and you, we love the line, "Do it, Broly!" Oh man, good stuff. And we got the new characters as well, were designed. So I mean, just everything. Like we heard how much work was going into creating this, animation wise, and how much just how they were bringing out all their top dogs. And that's one of the reasons why they're not doing the super animation, so that it can look, I mean, super TV show, so that it can look this good. But it looks like this is going to definitely be Shintani is around, is definitely going to be around for the foreseeable future. So if Dragon Ball Super does come back to television, while the animation might not look as good, obviously, because it's a movie, this is at least the direction that they'll be taking the animation in terms of the art style. So yeah, man, Shintani is knocking it out. You know, I have my doubts at first a little bit. Like I said, I like multi-shading, but I knew what it was going to accomplish, so I definitely was going to also, you know, go ahead and definitely give it a chance. So any little last doubts I may have had, absolutely, I am 100% for this. Animation is gorgeous. I don't think I've seen Dragon Ball look as good since the 90s. And that's pretty much what I've got to say about the new animation direction and just how gorgeous this trailer look. I will give the floor to you now, Linux. What did you think, you know, recently with how Dragon Ball has looked in the last, you know, 15 plus years through Yamamura's designs, and how do you like the new direction of Shintani? And definitely let me know what was some of your favorite shots in the teaser, in the trailer as well, with how it looked.
There's a couple things in this trailer that just make it really, really good. From the overall just color palette, a lot of just really, really strong, vibrant colors. The lines are a lot lighter on the characters in this particular style of animation. They aren't the heavy, dark,
much more interesting line work.
Yeah, it's a lot lighter. It's a lot more fluid. It almost reminds me of a Miyazaki style type of animation where you have really light line work, but the color palette isn't super heavy, so you can still see them. But it's a very bright color palette. Even in their dark moments of the trailer, like when the planet's at nighttime and they're fighting in like the little like fiery area or whatnot, the colors are still very, very vibrant. They're very bright. They aren't dark like how they were in the Tournament of Power, where it almost seemed kind of like gray or brownish at points.
But I think that's the atmosphere they really wanted. They kind of wanted a really dark tone for that tournament.
I get it, but I mean that's the same color palette they've had since the Goku Black arc. So, like, they weren't really doing anything different. You know, it was just stylistically the same, and it just happened to work for what they were going for. But I like I just like the overall change in animation. I've always been a fan of like Miyazaki films, and because this reminds me of that, big plus to them. Second thing, the Broly redesign is probably one of the best redesigns of a character I've seen in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
From the overall color palette to just kind of how even his Super Saiyan form and like the little hint of like the legendary Super Saiyan that we see at the end.
Right.
Even that's been changed and tweaked in certain ways. You know, the hair isn't as like static as it normally is. It actually was pretty flowy when he was coming up out of the ground.
Right, as it should be.
His eyes aren't pure white anymore, too. I don't know if you noticed; they were actually kind of red.
Oh well, yeah. When
like
he's coming out, when he's coming out of the ground. Unless you're talking about when he doesn't have the aura around. I have to look at that. I thought they were white, just pure white.
Yeah, no. His eyes are like they
Unless
almost
you
look
say
like
they kind of have a reddish, a slight tad reddish tint to them.
Yeah, they changed in the legendary.
I may
Super
have
Saiyan.
actually now noticed that. Now that I think about it, yeah.
Yeah, like when he goes into the legendary Super Saiyan, you see it for a second, but there's like a tint of red there, which I think is dope. You know, if that sticks, please let that stick, because I think that's really, really good to kind of contrast with the way the green works now with him, where it's not that yellowish green, but almost like that teal color green. It just looks really good. Favorite, there are a couple favorite scenes, but like my favorite is the shot of like Goku and Vegeta on the in their, you know, the new redesign of their casual outfits. Just them kind of like hanging out on the ice before they fight Broly. Like that scene is just great. You know, it's simple, but I just like the way it's framed. I like the way it's, you know, drawn. Really, really good scene. Even the scene of the whole fight scene of Broly versus Frieza, just a little snippet that you get looks really, really good. Like, it looks really, really good. Even the fight with him and Vegeta when he punches him through the ice is one of my favorites just from how it looks.
Hey, did that Broly, the little we saw of Broly versus Frieza, did that remind you too of Dying Namek?
It did. It did. And I'm wondering, once again, it raises a bunch of questions as to how the plot, and this is the thing that this movie does, or is doing, that we haven't really had from a Dragon Ball movie outside of the recent two, where it's actually giving you a story to think about. You know, previous DBZ movies, and not that those movies don't, you know, have great, you know, things in them, but like when you think about like the Cooler's Revenge, Return of Cooler, Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan, you know, BoJack Unbound, when you think about those movies, the plots for those movies are really weak. I say probably the strongest two, if we go back to all of those movies, would probably be Tree of Might and what's the World's Strongest. Those two movies have, like, you know, really solid plots. You know, they make sense.
Movie 2 is incredible. It's my favorite of the first 3 Dragon Ball movies.
Tree of Might?
The World's Strongest, the second movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, World's Strongest is really good. But that's the thing. It has a plot. You know, it has a solid flow to it. You know, it makes sense at a lot of points. You can rationalize how it fits into the DBZ universe. So they make sense. This trailer alone has given us way more to think about than the original Legendary Super Saiyan movie ever did. You know, you could figure it out just from reading the box, like everything that was going to happen in this movie. You know, Broly was, you know, pissed off at Goku because he made him cry as a kid, and now he wants to beat him up. That's essentially the story in a nutshell. No depth, you know, like that's where it stops.
Particularly, it was the longest Dragon Ball movie too before Battle of Gods.
Yeah, true. You know, this movie, you know, there's a story here. You know, there are questions. You know, what planet is this happening on? Because it doesn't look like Earth. You know, so what planet is this happening on? That's one. 2, how does the interaction with Broly and Frieza happen? because we know Frieza is more concerned with conquering the universe, and he's already kind of made that pact with Goku since he brought him back to life. He wasn't going to mess with Earth. That's another reason why, like, off the trailer alone and the fact that Broly and Frieza have an interaction, I don't think this happens even remotely close to Earth. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, what's the story with how Broly ends up meeting Frieza? Okay, how do Goku and Vegeta play a role in this? Because remember, we can't go based off of old lore. We have to assume at this point Broly doesn't even know Vegeta and Goku exist.
Yeah, Toriyama's retconning a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so, you know, how does Goku and Vegeta play a role in this situation? You know, how do they learn of Broly? Why are they deciding to interfere? First and foremost, and then another question. You know, now that the presence of Whis and Beerus are established, because the trailer starts off with Whis talking to Goku, do they play a role in this particular movie? You know, does Beerus let Goku know, you know, hey, there's a warrior that could probably help you get to another level that we've just found out? You know, long story short, there's just a lot. You know, how did Broly survive Planet Vegeta's destruction? Was he even there? Were there other Saiyans that survived like him?
You know, was he genetically created, which was hinted to us in the final shot?
He was definitely in a test tube. Definitely in a test tube.
And in the background, there's another Saiyan in the test tube.
Exactly.
Was he maybe one of many genetically mutated Saiyans? Maybe when Frieza blew up, maybe Paragus was the last to escape, and he found some Saiyan DNA and tried it. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and the fact that we are talking like this and trying to figure things out is really a good thing. And you know what? Just to go ahead, since we're talking about the story and plot now, you definitely made a good point. Let's go back to Kami to Kami, Battle of Gods. I remember you when we first saw it. Our shout out to our friend Hassan. He went to the anime club at the college we attended. I remember all of three of us were like, wow, this is the greatest Dragon Ball movie ever. And we weren't saying that just because it'd been so long, but we felt that because this was, a full 90-minute movie that actually built up the character plots of Beerus and everything. And granted, I know Battle of Gods is controversial because I do agree that they spent way more time than was needed. Like, I appreciate it as a Dragon Ball fan, but I do agree they spent way too much time giving too much comedy spots in the movie or screen time to Pilaf and his gang and everything. And the battle should have probably been a lot more intense than what it was. But overall, I think we just appreciated the sheer time that it took to actually tell the story, as opposed to Beerus is the villain. He comes, destroys Goku and all his friends, and at the end, Goku goes Super Saiyan God, beats him, and then we go to the next movie. And then it had some twists in it and shocks in it, and it's like, wow,
Goku didn't win.
Yeah,
he didn't win.
And they actually, and for once, while he didn't explain the whole situation and the gravity and Goku in space and all that stuff, and I've heard people say that it was still in the atmosphere and all that stuff, but it's so inconsistent with science and space. I always appreciated the fact that they actually did explain, because I was wondering, how is Super Saiyajin Goku being able to hold his own against Beerus when he's not in his god form? And they state that, oh, his body remembered the power, and that's how he's able. I'm like, okay, that's all I ever wanted in Dragon Ball. Just take one sentence to explain something so we, the fans, don't have to go ahead and create our own, what do they call it, headcanon? To try and make sense of things. So, I appreciated that stuff. Now, Fakatsu no F, Resurrection F, that movie I thought did a much better job at balancing the comedy and the action, but it really lacked tension. I remember you leaving that theater disappointed that essentially Frieza came back to do the job, to basically put over Goku and Vegeta's Super Saiyan Blue forms, and the whole ending of him blowing up the entire planet, even though he was weakened, and it's like, oh my, and he killed Vegeta. Technically that means he killed Vegeta. But I did enjoy Fakatsu no F and everything, but I think this movie right here, it will, hopefully, if it has the tension You know, because obviously Beerus and Whis are probably not fighting in this. If Beerus comes in, I'm pretty sure he's one-shotting Broly. But actually, I'll get more to tension later. But I think this movie, right here, definitely, as you pointed out, it looks like it's gonna flow like a movie. It's gonna tell a story, and that's the reason why I'm very interested. Because as everyone knows, who's familiar with Toriyama's work, Toriyama is a discovery writer. He basically writes the story off the top of his head as he goes along. But there were reports coming out early on that Toriyama had actually wrote this story a year in advance. He actually took his time to write this story. I am very interested to see what Toriyama's writing is like when he actually takes the time to thoroughly write this story out, as opposed to just going right at the top of his head. So I'm very interested. And let's face it, Broly's not that hard of a character to rewrite in terms of motivation. I'm pretty sure just about almost every person listening out there can come up with a better motivation other than, well, you made me cry when we were about 2 minutes and a half old. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we all can think of a story better than that, and I think this Broly seems more interesting. A lot of people speculated around his neck that could be serving as sort of the new headpiece, and if you guys don't remember, the headpiece is what Paracus used to control Broly until he snapped. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes about. Power scaling wise, I know you talked about earlier, Linux, with me. Broly, what we've seen in this trailer is Broly's base form has basically given Frieza's final form and Goku and Vegeta's Super Saiyan forms a run for their money. We know Broly will be going Super Saiyan before reaching what we know to be his legendary Super Saiyan form, and that's Super Saiyan, legendary Super Saiyan for you that like the Funimation dub, of course. And with that said in mind, you gotta wonder, how strong is Broly? Like, especially in the ending of the trailer, it looks like when he's transforming to whatever the green form's going to be called now, whether it be Legendary Super Saiyan or Berserk, when he transforms to that, it looks like Goku's already battle damage, and basically he's already given them a huge run for his money. So it is going to be very interesting. I got to imagine Goku and Vegeta have received a huge Zenkai boost after their battle with Jiren, so I gotta imagine they're much stronger, but they're not probably gonna show in the trailer, and this is smart, make us wait for it. So yeah, what I think is going to happen here is we're going to see Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Evolution, or Evolution Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta form, as you like to call it, Linux, Ultra Blue Vegeta. And we're definitely going to see Migate no Gokui Son Goku. I think that will probably be quite the difference maker, but they're saving that for the trailer.
I don't think it is.
I think they're going to put that in there. It's going to be interesting to see, as far as, I would imagine, because we just got through seeing Jiren, and if you're not going to have Broly be stronger, then obviously create the real tension. So you're like, here's, I'll be honest, this will probably be ridiculous, but this movie starts off with Zeno saying, "Who's there?" "I've returned." "Ah, Master!" Whoa, now we've got tension. Zeno's afraid of Broly. Now we've got the true tension, but they're not going to go there. So as far as that, it's probably just going to be keep it down to a moral level. So I would imagine, for the sake of tension of where we left off in the tournament, Broly's got to be stronger than Jiren. I mean, what fun is it if the villain that precedes the next villain is not stronger and doesn't push our heroes to the edge of their limits? So yeah, go ahead, and what's your thoughts on the power scaling here then, that you think it's going to be in?
I honestly disagree with him being stronger than Jiren. I don't think we're going to see a mortal stronger than Jiren. I think the whole reason, and hear me out, because trust me, I would love it if Broly was stronger than Jiren. But even just based off the trailer, we didn't see a hint.
Yeah, I mean, because like, how fun would Cell have been as a villain if he wasn't stronger than Frieza?
Well, this is the thing. Frieza still ended up being stronger than Cell.
Of course, later on, but I'm talking about in the original
No,
DBZ continuity. And just going by the original manga, that wouldn't have been that fun. Same way with Boo. If Boo wasn't stronger than Cell, go ahead, no.
No, but based off of this trailer, there's no indication Broly is stronger than Jiren, because Jiren was already stronger than Goku Blue and Goku Kaioken Blue. Like, you know, he was stronger than Vegeta Evolution. So there's nothing in this trailer.
I don't think we should underestimate the power of that Zenkai boost. That's all I'm saying.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, but then again, Jiren's in that same bracket. So that's what I mean. He's literally, like, even though he's not a Saiyan, he gets just as strong as them. So
yeah, he had to take that L from Migate no Gokui, so I'm pretty sure he's been training his butt off. He's probably like Goku. He can't stop now, like you said.
Exactly. Oh no, that was confirmed at the end of the tournament, because he said the next time I meet him, I'm not going to lose.
Right.
Which even then, he really can't count that as a loss to Goku, because it still took 3 of them to beat him.
Oh no, I'm just talking about in one like I was saying in our review for episode 131. In terms of the one-on-one battle, there's no denying Ultra Instinct Son Goku bested Jiren in the end in terms of one-on-one.
Yeah, no, he definitely edged that victory over Jiren. It was close though. That's the funny thing about it. Like, it wasn't like it was an overly dominating defeat.
Oh, yeah, Jiren's biggest mistake in that fight was when he went after Goku's friends.
Yeah, that battle was even. It wasn't until he pissed him off that you don't awaken Saiyan rage, people.
Right.
You don't do it. You don't do it. It's another type of Zenkai boost. Just don't mess with them. Like, the battle was even. It was even. And then you did that. But I digress. Long story short, Jiren, I still feel will be stronger than Broly in terms of power. This is why I said I feel the power scaling is going to be a little weird after this movie, because there are 2 different levels, 3 different levels actually. If we're going to really like measure power now, you have probably the new standard that Broly's going to set. You have the standard already set by Jiren, and then you have Ultra Instinct Goku, which is slightly higher above that. And then you have, obviously, Beerus and Whis and, you know, everybody else.
Yep.
So, with that being said, I'm not convinced Broly's stronger than him, but that is solely dependent on how they choose to handle that legendary transformation. That is solely dependent on how they choose to handle that and how they choose to handle the power scaling with that. Because if they choose to stick to the old lore where it was limitless power,
it wasn't limitless power. Me and you've talked about this several times. It was power Broly couldn't control. That's why, you know, that line when he's like, yes, getting stronger, and he's like, my power is overflowing, and he unleashes the key and everything. And you remember I used that back. I remember us talking about that back like almost a decade ago about how the water, you take the water, and I was saying, you know, you fill up the glass, just like Broly's power, the water in the glass is rising and rising. But then when it gets to the top, like Broly's power, it overflows because the glass has reached its full capacity of water that it can hold. And that's what happened with Broly's power. If you listen to what he's saying about overflowing, it was more key than he could control.
Yeah, and that was solely due to his body.
But you know what? It's not even necessary, because I think it's funny because by Toriyama bringing in Broly, he's now leapfrogged past everybody in Dragon Ball. So everybody who's always said Broly's the strongest, you've had a lot of fans all over the years say Broly's the strongest because he can power up and he has limited power. They thought he did, but you know, there goes that argument, because yes, Broly has leapfrogged everybody's power pretty much in Dragon Ball. And you can do that because unlike Frieza, who was a character in DBZ, and it seemed like it was very far-fetched for us to try and believe that he could just do 4 months of training and he has potential out of nowhere, like wow. So you're telling us he was just 4 months away. Broly's a new clean slate for a character. So yeah, Toriyama can do whatever the heck he wants with Broly, and yeah, we can just take it as is because Broly's a brand new character. So yeah, he can start off this strong.
Yeah, true. And sorry, Cell fanboys. Guess this kind of puts an end to your argument of who's stronger, Broly or Cell. Sorry, guys. I guess Toriyama kind of ruined that one for you. Yep.
He's Super Saiyan. He can't beat a Super Saiyan 2. Let's be honest, going back to the first movie, he couldn't beat Son Goku, who was beaten constantly to the point he couldn't stand, and it took a weakened Vegeta, Piccolo, Trunks, and Gohan to give him their key, and he was able to one-shot Broly out of nowhere. You know, get into that ending of the movie. That movie it felt like the writers, the animators, they all had so much fun with Broly beating the crap out of everybody, and it was the most entertaining part of that movie, and then they kind of realized
they had to come up with some BS reason to beat him.
Because at the time they're like, hey, you know, in wrestling they call it the go home cue. When the wrestlers are out there and they need to make more time for the other matches, the referee cues to them, hey, time to go home, wrap it up. And they was like, oh crap, we've only got what, like 90 seconds left in this movie. Let's just everybody gives their key to Goku, he one shots him, and then he does instant transmission to the space pod, and they get back to Earth, and there you go. What? What? Like, do you know how much took place in 9 seconds? He took his arm when the planet, and it was cool visually, when he blew the whole planet was coming apart. He took his whole arm and ripped it out of Broly's chest. And in that time span, Goku falls into the rubble, and he's able to do instant transmission in 5 places at once to gather his friends and put them all into the spaceship. And Broly finds a way to go ahead and get into a spaceship, set the coordinates, and go on to Earth.
Yeah, I'm the only Broly's Second Coming kind of ruined that
when
ending.
They did that in Second Coming, it felt like, I was looking at that when I first saw it, like, this feels like the type of thing, okay, we didn't know Broly was going to be this popular, so let's just make up some bull crap to get him in the second movie. Like, you wonder why the character Broly gets a bad rep. You know, there are just some things about that story that Koyama made that it's like, and I think he was the one because I know he created the character, so I think he wrote the stories. If he didn't, correct me if I'm wrong out there, anyone listening in the comments. But like, yeah, that type of stuff
they don't
right
make
there.
sense. I'll say it for you. They don't make sense.
It doesn't. So I'm confident that Toriyama, and it looks like Toriyama's going a more serious route. I actually, it's been a long time since we've seen really deep down serious Dragon Ball. So I'm very interested in this. Though, hey, you know what? They like to call him Toriyama. What if all this hype, we find out the reason why Broly hates Goku is because Broly was gonna eat some Jello, and Goku accidentally took the Jello off the table and ate it, and he realized Goku was the one, and that is the motivation. It is not past Toriyama to come up with ridiculous things like that.
Die laughing if that happens. If this is over food, I am
Battle
going
of Gods
to
was over food.
Die. That's why I'm thinking about it. Like, that would actually make sense.
Like just
and
imagine.
There's a shot of Broly eating in the trailer too. That would be so good if he was thinking about that.
And what if the line? And that's how they're sucking us all in with the trailer. We see the line of Paragon said, "Do it, Broly," but they don't show what he says before it. Son Goku, for taking my son's Jello, you will pay now. Do it, Broly. Yo, they trolled us good. They knew And they did this in the Battle of the Gods trailer, dude, because if you remember the trailer for Battle of Gods, they put some intense music. They showed Goku, Super Saiyan God Bears fighting, and we thought it was going to be this big epic moment. Then when you actually watch the movie, about 45% of it is comedy and Pilaf's antics, and it all ends up being over pudding. And they were smart. They knew not to put that in the trailer and feel that Beerus is going to be angry over pudding, because they portrayed him like he was going to be your typical Dragon Ball Z villain. So
it's so funny too. They show you every serious scene from that fight, like when he ends up like pushing Majin Buu. And yeah, it looks like he just showed up. Oh, they were trying to stop him, and he just pushes Majin Buu. Little do you realize, this is after him and Boo just got done arguing over pudding, and Boo eats it in front of him. That's when he got shoved into the bowl.
More than half of that movie is comedy, and I'm not saying I dislike the comedy because it's totally Toriyama and I had a good laugh, but barely any of the comedy made it into that trailer, and they were smart because they knew it was going to draw in the fans, most of your fans. Go ahead.
Yo, that has one of the most legendary lines in that movie for me. When he's talking to Bulma, when she's telling him to calm down, and he's like, you all get to enjoy pudding whenever you want. But for me, it's a once-in-a-lifetime delicacy that I'll never get to experience. Pudding! It just goes crazy. Yo,
oh, man.
That was the best.
Hey, dude, you want to talk about, I don't remember it right word for word, but you want to talk about lines going back to the Broly movie. Like I said, I watched the Japanese version once because I watched it when I originally got the DVD. I watched it in Japanese first, and then I've seen the English dub a lot of times because almost everybody that would come over, friends, and we get together, they would want to watch an English dub. You know what was one of the funniest things in the Broly movie? I don't know if they're gonna have Pericus go out this way in the film. You remember when Pericus is trying to escape and he's like, sorry son, you have to die with your planet too, and he gets in there, where are you going, Dad? I was planning to launch the rockets for our escape in a space pod built for one person. He's like, what type of curse is this? Cursed by your own son who once saved your life. That whole line, trying to escape in a space bond built for one person. Oh man, I am so glad it looks like Vic Mignogna is coming back for this. Oh my gosh. See, dude, a lot of the lines that Broly did, a monster. No, I am a devil. A lot of the lines were really cool. I liked in Second Coming, the Funimation dub, when Gohan's like, I've had enough. Not until you lie dead at my feet. Yeah! Oh my gosh, yeah, that was like the one thing outside of the Kakarot. And everything, like Broly, and you mentioned this to me before with the Broly character, is that just the way Broly would, especially particularly in the first movie, the way he would trash talk, like, dude, remember Vegeta when he owned him, when he goes like, I'm the Prince of all Saiyans, even you, Broly, and then Broly comes in like, well then do your best to make me kneel before you, and then he clotheslined Vegeta right into the, it's so bad how bad they jabbed Vegeta, yes.
He clotheslined this man, makes him pass out, and then looks at him.
The way it animated. Hey, the way they animated. If you go frame by frame, Vegeta flies into the frame, tries to flies back, but then sees Broly coming to him with this look of horrificness, and Broly just clotheslined him. Dude, just some of the awesome spots they did. I think that's really the reason why Broly got so over.
Oh, the clothesline on Trunks and Gohan?
The fighting, yes, when he's running towards the what did he do? I think he knocked Piccolo down on the ground, and then he does a double clothesline on Gohan and Trunks, and then kicks Piccolo in the air and blasts him all the way to Vegeta. Piccolo was basically Team Rugged. I'm busting off again.
He hit him with the sickest combo too, because when he kicked him into the air, he headbutted him. And when he headbutted him, that's what sent him up, and then he just shot the blast. That's why I was like, yo.
Hey, wasn't there wasn't there another uppercut too where I don't remember, like Trunks like dodged in front of Vegeta, and instead he right before he could form the blast, he ends up getting uppercut. Yeah, I think that one. Dude, who could ever forget this classic spot when Broly is walking towards Goku, and Goku's like, Kame,
my man tanked a whole Kamehameha wave.
Do you remember? Goku was like, Broly picks him up, and Goku basically, and then when he picks him by the hair, lets him go, and Goku is in such disbelief, he goes silly. He's like, he smiles like, I can't believe he just did this. He just tanked a Kamehameha. Goku was left speechless. Like, he knocked Goku silly without literally knocking him out. See, stuff like that.
Or my favorite one, when he tells all of them, he said, why don't you all come at me all at once? And he's literally standing on the tip of that building, dodging them, not moving.
Oh, yeah. Dude, Team 4-Star did that in their abridged good stuff. The little sound where he's like... the little sound effect that they had making. Hey, I like to in the Funimation version when they're he's like, hey, we got to see Buff Roshi in that movie. Broccoli.
Oh my god!
I knew Funimation they had to put a broccoli reference in there. I'm actually one of those few people that I actually did, and a lot of people hate movies. What was that? 11 and 10 and 11, the second and third Broly movies. I actually did enjoy the comedy in there. Trunks peeing on Broly.
Oh my god.
I thought that was hilarious. I enjoyed the Gohan Broly fight for what it was. Man, what is it with villains wanting to put Gohan in bear hugs? But I thought Kyle Haybird.
He's soft and squishy.
I thought Kyle Haybird and Masako Nozawa did a tremendous performance though, in both the English and Japanese version, the way they yelled Gohan. And I think, I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't make sense, but the ending to that movie, in the second Broly movie, the ending, I think, is visually one of the best endings in all of the Dragon Ball movies. It's one of my favorites.
You're talking about when Goku getting magically wished back for like the 30-minute
I wish Dad was here! This is not your fight to finish, guys! Gohan, look, holy...
I just have a question. How?
Dude, that's why I said I know it didn't make sense. So sometimes you just gotta check your brain at the door and appreciate what you're visually seeing.
I'm not appreciating that because that's what spawned my hatred for Goku right there. That scene alone spawned my hatred for that
What this is a case of, this was Toei Animation saying they didn't have the confidence to have a Dragon Ball movie without Goku, and they did the same thing in BoJack Unbound previously. We gotta have Goku get at least 30 seconds of screen time in, like the KO punch to, or didn't KO, but the punch to Bardock.
Yeah, he hit him. He hit him.
Yeah, the punch to Bardock. They just never really had the confidence to go all the way with Gohan as the face of Dragon Ball. But the thing about it is, with Goku, that the visual of that, and you can't tell me you didn't enjoy doing those in the games. I think you could do it in Fighters too, right? You could do the family Kamehameha in Fighters. So
yeah, as long as Goku and Gohan are on the same team.
Dude, you gotta admit it. It made for a cool visual, and the whole ending. But you're right, the ending didn't make sense. Like, Trunks is a weakened kid Trunks. Like, literally, what is it with weakened...
I'm trying to figure out how he stopped that blast.
That's my thing. What is it with weakened characters getting the best? If a weakened character makes a difference against Broly, imagine what they would have done in the first movie if all the characters would have just powered up when they were all, before they got beaten down and give their ki to Goku. Wow. Yeah, how did that tiny ki blast stop Broly? But the way they killed him, off into the sun like Cooler, and the heart exploding. I thought that was cool. I actually did like Bio Broly too. With just some of the fighting. The fighting was pretty good in there, and I like the legitimate twist because in the Pojo magazine reviews, it didn't mention anything about what was it, the like the sorcerer, the voodoo witch doctor or whatever, I forget his name, from the second movie. I didn't know he was going to be in that movie, so that was cool. And seeing 18 get scared, and like how many villains make 18 scared, so that was cool. Mr. Satan's always a plus to have in there. Mark Satan, the champ, yeah. We're gonna try and take on Broly. Bio Broly's design. You see, Broly looked pretty cool when he came out the tank, and then the mud monster. I know that's what really made a lot of people, making him look like a mud monster.
I wish you could see the look on my face right now. No, I didn't like that design.
That's why
that went from looking like the legendary Super Saiyan to Muck from Pokemon.
I wanted to trigger you. Said what? What about Pokemon?
I said he went from looking like the legendary Super Saiyan we know and love to Muck from Pokemon. No. No.
Oh, man. Yeah, dude, I remember the Bio Broly, but you know one thing that I like about the ending of that movie is that when he steps into the water and he turns to like stone, Goten and Trunks don't hesitate a bit. They go ahead and shoot their ki blasters. They go Super Saiyan, they shoot their ki blasters, and they end Broly right there. And my thing with that is it's so cool because so many times in Dragon Ball they waste time, and obviously they didn't have time to waste in a movie. There's gonna be only 40 minutes, but yeah, there's all like, wow, what could be happening? What's going on, guys? We should check it out. Don't touch it. It might go ahead and reactivate. Like, no, this is our only shot. Let's go ahead. So I really like the sense of urgency in the ending. So I enjoyed the Broly movies for what they are. I can enjoy them, but I do look back on them and shake my head at what were they thinking? Like, it's like each movie kind of just kept downgrading. Like, you had all the popular characters in the first movie. Like, in the second movie, like, am I the only one who felt, was it really that hard to, Broly comes to Earth, and Piccolo and Vegeta are just going to go about their business and never get involved. They're not going to sense that. I know I'm not the only one who was thinking that. And then in Bio Broly, Gohan's not even going to get involved? Like, come on. Though I know the idea was possibly that they were away on the ship with Boo at the time, but, we're not even going to try and fit. The movies have their own canon. The show has their own canon. But, yeah, man, did you ever notice that, like, in the movies, like, the way each movie kept downgrading the characters? Like, what was going to happen if they made a fourth Broly movie? It was only going to feature Krillin, Mr. Satan, Teen Shinha, and Chaozu, and Yamcha to save the day. Like how do you bring Broly back? It's like those movies felt like they were just bringing Broly back to try and take advantage of his popularity, and it's like you don't even get involved, which is what this movie looks the opposite. Toriyama's doing the opposite. He's bringing in the big dogs or the top guys for this film. Frieza. Look how they advertise it. Frieza versus Broly. Goku versus Broly. Vegeta versus Broly. They want you to know that, yes, we're gonna have this in the movie. Imagine if they did this with Bio Broly. Goten versus Broly. Trunks versus Broly. 18 versus Broly. Even Mr. Satan versus Broly. Bio Broly,
stop.
Get your theaters.
Stop.
Get your tickets now.
Stop this.
Yeah, man. That's our little rundown of the whole Broly movie. What was your thought on the way they transition? I know you enjoyed that first movie. Did you have some fun memories from this? It sounded like you did. Did you enjoy the second movie, the third movie? What was your thoughts on the second?
No, I hate the third movie to this day, but I do like the first two. Mm-hmm. I really like the first two. The second one feels like a more complete movie to me, especially because it has like my favorite line ever, which is the Gohan, "I've had enough," and then Broly's rebuttal of, "Not until you lie dead at my feet."
Yeah. And
like that.
Oh, go ahead.
You just can't mimic certain moments like that. Granted, it was ruined by a certain orange superhero that should have stayed dead, but. You know, it is what it is. I can't be too mad at the movies. I still enjoyed them regardless.
And I was gonna say too is I know Broly gets a lot of flack because we always think of Dee from Dexter's Laboratory always saying it. I gotta see if someone's made that on the internet. It's so easy, like just Broly saying Kakarot. That's all you can say. That's all you can say. That's all you can say. But it kind of I always took it that way though. It didn't really. I was okay with him saying Kakarot though all through the movie because it kind of was like Goku beat him that bad that he sort of became he became insane basically, whereas he kind of had some rationality in the first movie, but in this movie, like, man, like Goku beat him so bad that's all he could think in his mind. So I was kind of always cool with it. But the thing about it is, despite those movies, I never ever saw Broly as the be-all, end-all of the Dragon Ball franchise, because I didn't start recognizing this until the movies, like into the games, like when Budokai 3 came out, and everything like that. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it was cool to have Broly in there, but then I started noticing, like, when they would release games, they would at least make sure to get Bardock and Broly in there. And that's when I started realizing, oh, okay, Broly's this really insane, powerful character. And I've seen the fan base for years on the internet talk about why they dislike Broly, why they liked him. I personally was always waiting for movie 12, which was what was the Japanese name of it? Fukatsu no Fujan, aka Goku to Vegeta, and that was the rebirth of the rebirth of Fusion Goku and Vegeta, which became Fusion Reborn here, and that was the one I was waiting for, because that one came out October 17th. Was it? No, not October 17th. I think that one came out in 95, wasn't it? Yeah, that one came out May 4th, 1995, but we didn't get it until March 16th, 2006, almost 11 years. 11 years afterwards. That was the movie I had anticipated for so long. I love that movie, movie 12 and everything. And I'll get more into that a little bit later. That's what Janemba was my guy. That was the villain I was waiting for. So I didn't even know about, I didn't even see Broly as like the be all end all. So that's the reason why I was like, yeah, Broly, but okay, if he has a more interesting story, then I'm like, this can actually work. What about you in terms of how Broly's popularity, just how the popularity of Broly has lasted so long for 2+ decades, and how did you really kind of rate them in your top villains? Did you always like think he was like the end all be all, or were you kind of like in the middle like me? Obviously I know you don't hate him.
No, Broly's always been a dope character. I guess I wouldn't say he was like the end all be all, but part of me has always wished he was canon. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the things that you can definitely say.
Toriyama has granted your wish.
Yeah, like, no lie, part of me has always wished he was canon. So that's definitely something that I'm happy about. Second thing I guess I would say is, as far as his popularity, dude, Broly's too hype to not add to the rest of anything Dragon Ball related. Like the games, he has some of the best like lines / supers. Like the character's just hype. Whether it was him in Burst Limit, him in the Budokai Tenkaichi series, Dragon Ball Budokai 3, like the character's just dope. He's
I imagine they treated him well in Fighters too, right?
Yeah, like he's dope in that game. So like Broly is ridiculous.
And then the Dragon Ball Hero, the Dragon Ball is it Super Heroes Dragon Ball series and everything, the whole Car Dash game. They've done Super Saiyan 3 Broly, Super Saiyan 4 Broly, Xeno Broly, all these different variations of Broly. So I mean it's smart business. It really is, because, and you think about it, if you dislike Broly, the idea that Toriyama is now going to be in charge of his character and has flat out said that he's gone ahead and he's put a bunch of thought into remaking this character more interesting, it kind of makes it like, okay, I can give the character a chance, because let's face it, the reason why a lot of people, like I said, dislike Broly, we just went through it with some of the reason, just the way his movie, like the way the execution they win, his motivations, and then if you like Broly, this is what you've waited for. You've wanted Broly to become canon. You know, he's now entering in the official continuity from Toriyama's mind. So either way, there is something to draw in. This is a way to draw in new characters. This is a way to draw in those that love Broly and sort of basically redeem Broly and those who can't stand him. And it's brilliant business. And by putting Broly's name on the marquee, they are definitely going to sell this out. So it's smart. This leads me, by the way, to go ahead and say this. I don't think Broly's dying in this movie. I really, truly do not believe this movie ends with Broly. He might get defeated. He might even beat our heroes, but I doubt they're just going to be Broly just for one shot, because like Frieza, they saw the popularity was there and they made him a recurring character. This is to bring Broly as a recurring character. It's going to be very interesting to see what route they go with Broly. Does he stay a villain, anti-hero? Does he maybe join our heroes for a greater for a greater threat coming up? Who knows? But there's way too much merchandise, and at the end of the day, that's what Dragon Ball, they want to do as a business. They want to create tons of merchandise, tons of toys. They want to create all those downloadable content for all the video games. There's no way they're going to be like, let's bring Broly back, have him one shot, and this is the end. You'll never see Broly again. No, there is so much money to be made with Broly. Do you agree with me? What about you, Linux? Do you see Broly dying in this movie and that's it? They just brought him back for one shot? Or do you think...
Hell no. He's not going anywhere.
He is here to stay, because the longer he stays in the series, the more they can do with him. It's the same thing as Frieza. That's what I see.
Yeah, no, that's the whole reason why they brought Frieza back. Like, his popularity after the Resurrection F shot up, because it was like, yo, all of us who have been fans of Frieza have been wanting to see him come back. Right. And then when he died again, the possibility of him coming back in Super... So, this is the thing about Frieza. And we were
disappointed with, like, man, and this is what Frieza came back for, and that's all we're ever going to see, right?
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what me and you said. We thought they
dying.
utilized Frieza so much better. I know you hated the humble parts of Frieza, but I felt like he still was utilized better in the Tournament of Power than he was in his own film in Saga.
No, see, that's the thing. I agree with that statement. Like, nobody who's a fan of Frieza was happy with the fact that he came back and died in Resurrection F. Like, what made Super, like, they did him justice, because the fact that they brought him back...
right quick, just to say quickly, is I think most of us, we expected, okay, yeah, Frieza's just coming back, because we knew, for the sake of continuity, Frieza would have to die, so, because he's not there at the end of DBZ. So I think most of us wanted, but I think what we all wanted in Fakatsu no F was Frieza to come in and be a huge threat to Son Goku, and Vegeta gets the big win, and there we go. We would have been happy, but he didn't. It was more of the same, where he got bested by him and he resorted to cowardly tactics to beat Goku, and then some whatever with Vegeta. I think people would have been satisfied had he been a threat. It's the fact that he wasn't treated as a real threat, and it's like, oh, that's literally how it ends.
Yeah, but like, that's the thing. I think they learned from that, because the direction they took it in Super, Frieza's whole character, just the overall like lore behind Golden Frieza, you know, and everything changed. Like, the demeanor about it changed. It's taken a little bit more serious. Mm-hmm. The fact that was Goku's immediate next pick when Majin Buu fell back asleep. The fact that Goku was like, nah, I got somebody. I'm gonna go get Frieza. What? Like, excuse me? That's who you want to go get?
It created a ton of buzz on the internet. Like, when rumors started coming out that Frieza was going to replace Majin Buu, people were like, you got to be kidding me. And then they did it, and we wanted to give it a chance. And honestly, I'm very well pleased, especially with the ending, how it turned out.
Yeah, it worked the best. And I think that ending shocked all of us, too, when Whis was like, "Oh, okay, book a gift from Lord Beerus." Excuse me?
Yeah,
Wait.
yeah, I thought Frieza was just there. I thought, like most of the characters, this is their last hoorah, and we're finally gonna get into the end of DBZ and move on with a new generation. And I'm like, oh, okay, Frieza's here to stay. So let's see what goes on.
Yeah.
It definitely got all of us talking. Like, where did you go here from now with Frieza? And we'll see in this movie.
Yeah, especially with the cliffhanger that they left it on when he's addressing what's left of the Frieza Force, and he goes, sorry to keep you waiting. The ruler of the universe has returned. Mm-hmm. Like, what? I'm sorry, excuse me? Frieza?
Yeah, I thought they all died in Fakatsu no F. Okay.
Yeah, that's why, or I mean, hey, maybe he put that together, you know, you never know.
Among 28 planets left in the universe, so okay, yeah. That's what I'm very interested to see where Broly's coming from on there.
Yeah, because Beerus, you kind of destroyed a lot. Well, wait, that's not true. Because, okay, does Hakai counts as being erased, correct?
Yeah.
Does that wish specifically target Zeno, or just anything that's been erased?
What, are you talking about the 117 made?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we still don't know at that point, but it is.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
think it's a good way to go.
Wish.
Because I feel like at this point with Tournament of Power, we would have seen the best of the best in all universes. So when you open up some new universes that's been brought back, now it creates like, okay, where could this be coming from? Hey, let's move on to this topic here. Now that we know Broly is coming back and Toriyama is now given into and is more open to fan services, I repeat this, I do want to see the Dragon Ball series. Hopefully this is just the fan service to keep the series going strong and everything, but at some point nostalgia runs thin, and I really want to finally get to the end of DBZ and we see sort of Toriyama's own version from his mindset of Dragon Ball GT, basically what really happened through Toriyama's mind after the events of the ending of DBZ. I really want to do that, more new characters and everything. I do want to see more of that. But that being said, if we're going to get a little fan servicey here, I would like to ask, who are some of the non-created, basically, who are some of the characters not created from Toriyama's continuity that you would like to see added into the official series? I have two in particular.
One.
Well, here,
I only have one.
Here for me, I got two. My two are Cooler and Janemba. For me, I feel Cooler, if you're going to have Frieza back, Cooler is such an easy character to fit in the lore of Dragon Ball because so little is known about Frieza's race, and it sounds like King Cole had a wealth of knowledge on him. Imagine when he was being defeated by Trunks, he knew of Majin Buu, he knew of Beerus, and I think bringing Cooler in, and they've already done it in the Superheroes promotional anime, it looks super awesome where he went Golden Cooler in his final form. That would be awesome. I would love to see Cooler. And another character I want to see is Janemba. I feel Janemba basically is a character that could easily fit. He's just a very interesting character in the whole concept of Janemba, and I think give him a really cool voice where he actually speaks instead of just grunts and yells. Good stuff. I would love to see those two characters be added to the official Dragon Ball story through Toriyama. Would you like to see those two as well? And who is the one character you would love to see?
Cooler would be dope. I think Cooler would be the one that would make sense. I'm not too hyped on Janemba because his whole creation was an accident. So I'm not super hyped on Janemba. Cooler's makes sense. Cooler, I think, also has the possibility for like the most growth out of the series. So, like, if I had to pick, I would say that. I actually have two. Okay. Now that I think about it, I have two characters. Now that I've thought about it a little bit more. I actually want Garlic Jr.
Big Daddy Garlic.
Yeah.
That line cracks me up every time.
Garlic. Come to Big Daddy Garlic. No, but I actually do want Garlic Jr. only because I do want us to tap into I guess the same reason why you want Janemba, where we have like that otherworldly force.
Uh-huh.
I want that presence of somebody who actually does get the immortality from the Dragon Balls.
So you want the Garlic Jr. saga to basically become part of the official lore now, got you. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, no, I'm saying,
no, I know a lot of people didn't like that. You're probably talking mostly the first movie, which definitely was very interesting concept behind it.
Yeah.
I know me and you love that vision. There's actually the way they told the flashback of his father and the demon army and stuff. That was
my God,
gorgeous animation. And ironically, while I'm speaking to you right now, it was that scene from movie 1 that inspired me to make the visuals similar to a scene featuring the character that you play in my upcoming short film, Battle of Deception. But yeah, I knew me and you always loved that scene in the first Dragon Ball Z movie.
Yeah. But no, I've always wanted to know what would happen if somebody did get the immortality wish. And like Garlic Jr. was kind of
we got that with Zamasu.
No, that was something completely different.
We did. He got immortality. He got it.
That was some extra.
The execution of it, obviously, it was like, but we did get it.
Yeah, nah. He didn't fight Goku. He fought Trunks. We ain't dealing with that.
He did fight Goku. I think you just like the concept behind his backstory.
Yeah, like Garlic Jr. is ridiculous. Zamasu, I like Goku Black as a character. I hate his reason for doing what he's doing. Oh my God, I've seen it in so many different animes, and I've seen it executed so much better that when I got to it with Zamasu, I'm like, somebody shoot me now, please. Like, shoot me now. In all honesty, if it would have just been him stealing Goku's body, not the immortal Zamasu, but just like somebody taking Goku's body and using it for evil, that would have been way more interesting than them wanting to purify the universe. Like, what? Come on, man. You could have done that with the Dragon Balls.
But until then, Zamasu still has done the most powerful act, the second most powerful act we've ever seen in the entire franchise, and that's take over the entire multiverse. Don't know if Broly's doing. I doubt Broly's doing that.
Yep. I was about to say, next to Kid Buu, who destroyed Earth, Zamasu actually succeeded and won up this man. He took out the entire
outdid
universe.
Everything, and he accomplished where everybody in any lore of Dragon Ball succeeded, pretty much.
Yep.
Maybe I shouldn't say any because I haven't followed all the Time Heroes. There's some wacky stuff that goes on with the time there, but in terms of the official series, yeah.
But you didn't even have to do that. Like, you could do something like, him actually wanting to become the god of Earth. And whatever that means, like there's ways that you could take that Garlic Jr. wish and get him into a different type of, frame. Like there's 1,000 ways. You could take the Lord Slug route, which that's another character I would like to see.
He went there.
Yes.
I got one thing to say to you, man. Piccolo Daimon. End of discussion. You want Slug Cannon? You got it. Go back to the original Dragon Ball. Done.
I know. Oh, man.
Tell me you're trolling me with that one.
I am.
I was not expecting that. King Piccolo's calling.
I was not expecting that reaction. That's hilarious. But no, Garlic Jr. is the one that I would want to see, and then Baby.
Yes. I'm doing Daniel Bryan right now. Yes.
I'm sorry. GT as a whole, Baby was my favorite villain. And you know how much of a fanboy I am for Super 17. But Baby had the best arc.
He had one of the best backstories. His motivations, especially even compared to like Frieza, Cell, or Boo. Yeah, man, it's just it's what I've always said about Dragon Ball GT. I thought concept-wise, it had really good concepts, but the execution just wasn't there. But I do think Baby was definitely one of the best arc, hands down, in GT. I would be very interested. You're right, dude. I would love to see if someone maybe, and dude, since Toriyama is so much more open now to listening to you know, the in terms of bringing in some of these characters he didn't create. If there's a fan like Toyotaro, if he's a big fan of, because he already got the lewd design to be mimic with one of the gods. If someone shows Toriyama Baby, I would love to see what would Toriyama do with a character like Baby. You know, keep that concept.
I would like to know what his opinion of that character in that arc is. Like, I would like to know what he thinks of that concept, because even just the whole, like, the body snatcher concept, the way they did it, I liked it. Like, I really liked it.
Oh, like when he was like a parasite and everything?
Yeah, like, that was dope. Yeah. You know, and then I love the fact that... So, what made that even better was the fact that it was a deep-rooted hatred for the Saiyans when they were barbaric. They, you know, destroyed the Tuffles, so Baby's whole motivation was, yo, I'm going to keep body hopping until I find these Saiyans. They're supposedly the strongest. I'm going to steal the strongest body, and I'm going to slowly take over their world. Bro, the fact that in his quest for vengeance, he not only got a Saiyan, he got the Saiyan, he got Vegeta, and then ended up taking his whole family as well? Like, I'm
took
done.
his body and took Bulma and made him her queen, and wow.
Yeah.
And you were up here before we started this review, before we started recording, and Linux was up here talking about GT was trash. Not everything.
No. It had some trash moments now. Hold on now. Hold on now. I still stand by my comment.
Let's not act like everything, though, in GT was trash. And a lot of people would say everything in GT is trash, but I do think there were some good moments in GT.
Yeah, but just like that whole concept, like, yes, Toriyama, make Baby canon. Please. I'm begging you. Let him be the final villain before the Oob arc, please.
And you can even tie it in with what's been said, because that's what they did. They tied in with the original story that was told with us about the Safurians, which is known as the Tuffles in the Funimation dub. And you know, I always dug Baby. You know, you want to talk about some more lines we had. I love the line always when he punched Goku in the face. You know, the line where Goku's trying to tell everybody, search your feelings. You know this is not who you are. And then he punches Goku in the gut. He goes like, fear that. That's pain. Pain is real, and there's only one way out. And he does a double X handle to him. Loved Baby. Baby had a lot of cool lines, man. Loved it in Funimation dub. And we got a lot of cool concept. Golden Ozaru. You know.
Oh my God, the most OP transformation ever.
that was cool stuff. Yeah, man, you hit the nail on the head. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I would love to see that. But hopefully it just goes down to these few characters. Now, Garlic Jr. I think, you know what, the concept of Garlic Jr. is good, but I think the thing about me that kind of like doesn't sell me on that is the fact that we're so beyond Guardian of the Earth. Like, Garlic Jr. is something that really...
They could combine the Garlic Jr. concept and the BoJack concept, and it will work just fine. Like, the space pirate, like, Garlic doesn't have to be Guardian of Earth, but he could have been banished. You see what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where, like, he could have been banished, you know, or he could have been sealed away.
Right.
And, you know, like, prime example, the Dead Zone. That could have been something that he was imprisoned in and he learned to gain control over. You know, and when he comes back, he remembers the concept of the Dragon Balls. He has a reason to go to Earth to try to find them. Maybe he learns about the Super Dragon Balls and is trying to get those. Like, there's a lot that they could do with that
The Dead
concept.
Zone was cool, but you gotta admit this. Not once, but twice. And I think, was it Lenny Pator from Team 4-Star that pointed this out? He said, he literally opens the one and only thing that can defeat him. Not once, but twice. Whereas you gotta give it to Super. They went all out with it. They didn't, you know, Zamasu never actually really caused his own defeat. I mean, he did physically in terms of fusing with Goku Black, who wasn't immortal, but it literally came down to, okay, we have to have the highest god in the multiverse destroy him. That's the only way. So
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But hey, let's get back to focusing on Broly. It's that's basically as far as what's going into the direction. I want to go ahead and focus on some interesting bits here. So, Broly movie 1, burn up, hot fight, fierce fight, super violent fight. That was the original name, aka Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan, which was released in March 6, 1993, and then August 26, 2003. This movie right here is being released September 15th, and September 17th of this year, 2018, is going to be re-released in the theaters. This came out a while ago. They're going to be showing, I believe, the original dub with the Japanese score, and that's when it started making more sense, like, that's why, because they want to probably familiarize the younger audience with the Broly, because there's, like I said, there's fans out there who have only watched Super and not DBZ. And then on November 3rd and November 5th, they're going to show movie 12 and the Bardock special, which was titled A Final Solitary Battle, the father of Z-Warrior Kakaroto, who challenged Frieza, aka Bardock, the father of Goku, which I think we established definitely should be redubbed, because the original Japanese version is the way Funimation dub did that. Oh my gosh, it's funny though. When it comes to Dragon Ball Minus, they were a lot more. The Funimation dub is actually a lot more closer to Dragon Ball Minus Bardock, and we'll get to that. But also with the Bardock special, as I mentioned, movie 12 is being there. Obviously, Funimation knows everything that's going into this movie, so this is speculated. A lot of people thinking that we're going to see another character who always had the possibility of being there. Toriyama just never went there. It's, I think, one of the biggest reasons he created Vegito, that we might see Gogeta pop up, because we understand you're re-showing in the North American theaters. You're re-showing the Broly movie because, right, you want to educate or refamiliarize Broly with the audience. You're showing Bardock because he's probably going to be in this. It's about the Saiyan race. Makes sense. Why in the world are you showing Fusion Reborn? Just because you need time to fill? Or is there something in Fusion Reborn? Like, is that a secret? A lot of people are speculating that they think Goku and Vegeta we're going to see for the first time through Toriyama, Gogeta. So we might end up getting that. I would love to hear your thoughts on why you think they're showing Fusion Reborn with Bardock and Broly. We know why they're showing Bardock and Broly, and I highly doubt Janemba's coming in this, so I think it might be the fusion. Before you go on, did you see the video meme from Don't Be a Menace?
Oh my God, that was so good.
with Marlon Wayans, do we have a problem? Labeled as for those of you who don't know, for the movie Don't Be a Menace, they have Marlon Wayans on the part where he's showing off the guns. He's like, "Listen, do we have a problem?" And they labeled his guns as basically Ultra Instinct Goku. So then when they pulled out, when everybody who's supposed to be all the Brolys, they pull out their weapon, it's labeled as New Broly. So he's like, okay, I got you. He opens up the so Marlon as Goku opens up the the mail truck and pulls out the big nuclear missile, and they labeled it as Mastered Ultra Instinct
Super Saiyan
Gogeta.
Blue Mastered Ultra Instinct Gogeta.
And they're like, oh, and they run out, and the funniest part.
No, it was Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Mastered Ultra Instinct Gogeta.
Maybe they named it a little bit different one. I remember seeing Mastered Ultra Instinct Gogeta.
No, it literally says SSBE hyphen MUI Gogeta.
And then they have Shawn Wayans as Vegeta picks up a rock and throws it, and they label the rock as Final Flash. Oh man, that was good stuff. But that's what a lot of people are starting to speculate. So what do you think, man? Do you think there's a chance we're gonna see Gogeta? Funimation is
yes.
distributing Fusion Reborn with Bardock for a reason. Because at first some people thought, well, it's just to save up time. It's just to basically it's just probably just to fill up time because unlike Broly, which is 70 minutes, they want to make sure people are going to the movie theaters for other than 40 minutes. Unlike the way it was in Japan, where these all got theoretical releases. But now with the information we have between Bardock and Broly, there has to be a higher purpose here for putting Fusion Reborn in theaters. What say you?
I mean, it's been proven if they do that, then canonically that would mean Gogeta, the fusion with Gogeta via the fusion dance is stronger than the Potaro fusion. But
no, the Potaro fusion is he could retcon it though. It still was stated to be the effects are much stronger than doing the fusion dance.
Because they're permanently fused.
We thought
was always my logic.
I wonder what they're going to do with timing, though, because the trope they've always done in Dragon Ball, is that they nearly have the villain defeated, and then they unfuse. They've done it in GT, the movies, they've done it in the official series.
They did it in the Goku Black arc!
The longest fusion we actually lasted, it was of incredible power to the point that it took Migate no Gokui was Kefla. And obviously, the idea there is that it was 40 minutes speed up, it was 40 minutes slowed down, so that's why she was able to last that long. But you think there's a good shot we might see Gogeta in here? I'm thinking movie. You remember Budokai 3's intro? I wonder if I wonder if Toriyama looked at the Budokai 3 intro where Gogeta and Broly collide fists.
Oh my god! I can't.
And didn't he get bumped back, and he had to finish him with a Kamehameha that he ran right into?
Yeah. What was I about to say? Oh, I could picture it only because it's confirmed at the end of Super with the Tournament of Power being over. The Goku and Vegeta are roughly about the same level. With Vegeta attaining the Super Saiyan Blue evolution. Mm-hmm. And then Goku, as of that point, only having the Kaioken times 10 Super Saiyan Blue, they're roughly about the same level. So I wouldn't put it past him to be as of this point, Goku and Vegeta being of the same level if they were to fuse to take down Broly. Mm-hmm. It would make sense, because then fans can't raise the argument of, well, if Goku has Ultra Instinct, why would he need to fuse with Vegeta to beat Broly? Goku can't do Ultra Instinct. He stated that. He doesn't know how to do it.
Right, you look at the way they're promoting this. They through the trailer, through the document. I mean, through the poster. They are really heavily treating Goku and Vegeta like equals in this film. So that's pretty cool to see right there. Though I'm not putting it past Toei Animation or Toriyama to go into the Goku gets to save the day ending. Let's not. We know they love doing that. So yeah. But hey, dude, I know Frieza. Frieza's getting his butt whooping this. I without hands.
I hope not. Dude, I really hope not.
You look at the way they haven't prioritized Frieza. Frieza's gonna be there. I think Frieza's gonna be the Yamcha. He's gonna be the Yamcha. He's gonna be there to put over. Frieza's role is to put over Broly in the beginning of this film. He's our attention getter for Broly.
No, because they wouldn't have hyped it up. If that was the case, they would have just showed him in the trailer. They wouldn't have hyped it up. Because there's a reason why they specifically say Broly fights Vegeta, Broly fights Frieza, Broly fights Goku.
Fan service. Frieza, one of the most. They're taking the most popular villain of all time in the official story and the most popular villain in the movies, and they're gonna put that fight together because that's gonna be fan service. People always wanted to probably see a Frieza versus Broly match, but Frieza's heavily in this movie because he's gonna be heavily involved with the history of the Saiyans and all that stuff. So, obviously that's the reason why Frieza's gonna be there, and it looks like they're gonna have some sort of connection to Frieza. Dude, you know Frieza's gonna get his butt whooped so bad in this. I'm calling it right now. Broly is gonna make what Toppo did to Frieza look like child's play.
You know what? I'm not gonna co-sign that.
Dude, I can't wait to see what tops Frieza after he got his head nearly squeezed by Toppo. The yell.
As long as we don't get another gut punch, because I swear the one Toppo gave him, my insides hurt after watching that.
Dude, Broly's gonna be ragdolling Frieza all over left and right. I can't wait to see it and all that stuff.
I mean, he already hit that man with the patented chest bump.
Boom, yeah.
He ran straight up to him. Boom.
Oh man.
Oh, man.
But you do think you will see Gogeta possibly, though?
Yeah, we're going to see a fusion, because I doubt they're going to have Goku fight Broly one-on-one and win.
I love
They've already shown... They've shown several times in the trailer where Broly, in his base Super Saiyan form, is keeping up with Goku Blue. So right. I highly doubt.
Do you want to talk about things that's going to make everybody mark out in the theater, you know, if they're really big hardcore Dragon Ball fans at least? We get Evolution Blue Vegeta and Mastered Migate no Goku fusing at the same time. Oh, just right now I'm marking out on it. Oh, the sight of Goku and Vegeta's two strongest forms fusing. Oh my gosh.
I don't think any theater on the planet would be able to contain that height.
The power. Oh, dude. How many of us are going to be saying Broly done effed up now when that happens? If they do that,
what will make people mark out is if that fusion happens and it's still an even battle. Because then Broly fanboys are going to lose their mind. Like, we told you he was the strongest. We told you.
Yeah, we've never seen Broly in an evenly fought match, so that would definitely be very interesting to see how it's like anytime someone gets the upper hand on Broly, he's dead. So it'd be very interesting to see how he actually what does he do when his back is literally against the wall. And let's move on here. What was it? I think I had just a couple of more topics I wanted to bring up, and that is let's go on to Bardock. And you've talked about this. I know you said you've read it, and I don't know if you still have yet. You probably are aware of the differences between the Japanese version and the Funimation dub. So I did recently watch the Japanese version. I mean, of course, for like several years I heard all about it, and I just finally recently earlier this year, watched the Japanese version of Bardock. Which anybody out there, if you have not seen the original Japanese version of Bardock, the father of Goku, watch it. It will give you an exact understanding of who Bardock is, which is the thing in that theater. That's one of the reasons why they're probably so happy with putting it in there, because that Bardock that's portrayed in the Funimation dub is a lot closer to Dragon Ball Minus. So for those of you out there, quick little synopsis. If you're not aware of Dragon Ball Minus and the whole controversy of it, as everybody knows now, is that Toriyama accepted Bardock into the official series with the panel in the manga. So for years, everybody assumed that the story we saw with Bardock was canon, or, you know, a part of the official continuity of Dragon Ball, in terms of Toriyama's mindset from the manga and DBZ. Now, the thing about Dragon Ball Minus is what he made in 2013, and it basically makes the story a lot more similar to Superman, and it really changed a lot of stuff. Bardock, who originally was seen as this vicious warrior that didn't even care about his son and cared about nobody and didn't really care, he did care for his friends, his comrades, and the race obviously at the end, and like even when Frieza kills him, Bardock's, unlike the Funimation dub where it's like, it's not, where he's like, it wasn't too late to change, thank you my son, and Goku envisions telling him, who never even spoke in the Japanese version, telling him that it's not too late to be different than Frieza. It's not a story of redemption. Bardock, the only reason why Bardock is happy at the end is because he realizes that, I didn't care about my son, but ironically, it's going to be my son that defeats Frieza. I don't know if you saw the meme where somebody shows Frieza, they reversed his smile when they realized that at the end of the day, it will be Goku and Frieza teaming up together. He didn't see that one coming. But with that said in mind, the thing here, about the Dragon Ball Minus, Bardock is portrayed as a gentle Saiyan who cares very much for his family, his wife Gine, and we might see Gine, I think, hopefully I said her name right, Gine, Goku's and Raditz mother. We might finally see her in the official animation for the first time ever. And Gine was definitely really cool addition, definitely, because it's really cool to see Goku, but the way it's portrayed in Minus is like, because Bardock and Gine have very pure heart spirits and, you know, attitudes and personality. It's almost like Toriyama and that he's alluding that that's the fact of why Goku is gentle-natured, but that's not what the original story told us. The story was that Goku, like, and what we thought all Saiyans before Battle of Gods, were ruthless, and Goku as a baby was ruthless until he fell and he hit his head, and that basically calmed him down, and that's what allowed him to grow and be raised by Grandpa Gohan as a gentle-hearted person. And you get rid of that in Bardock, and that's not the Bardock that people love. Bardock is so popular and beloved because of how ruthless of a Saiyan he is and his determination to stand up to Frieza. And granted, things still could have probably went down with him challenging, because in Dragon Ball Minus we don't see that. But there's a part when he put him in the space pod, Bardock places his hand on the space pod glass, and Goku does as well, and they show that is teased to us in the trailer. So it looks like indeed what they're going to do, because from what I'm being told, from you know, what I've been reading and hearing from other very knowledgeable Dragon Ball YouTubers, is that this is going to show the history of Goku, Vegeta, and Broly, and how their destinies all intertwine together. And so what it looks like they're going to do in this movie is we're going to see Dragon Ball Minus get animated. They're going to animate Dragon Ball Minus, and this is gonna make a lot of fans who have only watched the original Bardock special but never read Dragon Ball Minus. This is gonna make them angry. And you know, for us who did watch it and watch the original Japanese version and read Dragon Ball Minus, yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but it's Toriyama, and this is where things can kind of possibly get a little scary in terms of, could Toriyama drop the ball? He dropped the ball. A lot of fans agree that even though this is officially the official continuity for Bardock now, a lot of fans feel Toriyama dropped the ball, and will he do the same with Broly? Though I will say right now, it looks a little bit more better for Broly, because he is at least keeping what makes Broly so popular in being that vicious, ruthless warrior. From what we saw in the trailer, but looks like we're gonna get this in the movie, and they might reveal some more about Vegeta's history. Maybe we'll finally get to see Vegeta's mother, more about King Vegeta, and we'll get, of course, we're looking forward to the new backstory of Broly. So with that said in mind, it is what it is. I think it is what it is. It looks like they are definitely going that direction. Dragon Ball Minus is going to make its way into the animation form. And one of the biggest things too about Dragon Ball Minus is that Goku is portrayed as if he's like a little kid that, you know, can walk around. Like, he looks like he's about like 4 years old, where we were told he was baby, and, you know, he was baby, and I think he was sent naked, right, to in Dragon Ball. He's in the anime fillers, it was shown that, but when in Dragon Ball Minus, you know, Grandpa Gohan has him where he's wearing his Saiyan armor outfit, which is like, wow, so Grandpa Gohan all along had knowledge he didn't know where it came from, but he knew it was the Saiyan armor. So it's like, it just, if it sound the way it sounds, like it mucks about everything that we were ever told almost about the original story, and that's where it's going. So that being said, I don't know, you can tell the audience, Linux, your history. You said you've read a little bit of Dragon Ball Minus. I don't know if you've ever watched the original Japanese version. What's your take on all this, with Bardock and possibly Gine, Goku's parents, coming into the animation form of the story now?
In all honesty, I think this is to set up Broly and Goku being related in one way, shape, or form.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be Broly was a clone from Goku's DNA or Bardock's DNA or even Gine's DNA, or maybe they legitimately are related, you know, and just got separated, you know, before Planet Vegeta's destruction. Definitely there's a link between the two characters that I think will finally get fleshed out. Mm-hmm. My theory that I think would be the more interesting route would be that Broly was created from, you know, either Goku or Bardock's DNA, you know, under the assumption that they were low-level Saiyans. Probably, you know, I would say maybe he was taken, you know, from DNA from Goku, with them, you know, making the assumption like, oh, he's a low-level Saiyan. We could probably use this to try and figure out how we can make, you know, how we can eliminate weak Saiyans. And it turns out that they digging into Goku's DNA, they're like, yo, this guy's a prodigy. And they, you know, enhanced it. And that enhancement ended up making Broly, you know, this new Broly, you know, who is basically like Goku's latent ability on steroids. So I think that'd be, you know, a pretty interesting concept for them to play with. They could go the regular route of Broly actually being related to Goku, and I don't think it'd skip a beat because we've seen how Goku's able to advance at a pretty rapid rate when it comes to learning techniques, increasing his own power, really deep diving into becoming a strong warrior. And I think Broly could just be the accelerated form of that, kind of like that counterbalance of just raw talent.
Yeah.
Versus Goku being somebody who had to work to get, you know, I mean, Goku himself is kind of like raw talent, but like, I would say it takes everything that Goku is and probably like speeds it up or multiplies it by like 30, you know, to really, really showcase, you know, that latent ability.
For sure.
I think that'd be a dope concept. I think that'd be a dope concept for them to play with in the movie. Or like I said, they could just take the standard route, you know, have them both be related, and that's something that Goku learns, you know.
Yeah, I'm very interested seeing, because they got the whole Cell thing going on there with him in a tank, and it's like, is he genetically created and everything, and what form of Paragus? Paragus is actually somebody I think will be dying in this film. I don't think they're going to keep Paragus around.
Oh, no, yeah, he's dying. Dying.
But it looks like he's pretty cool, though. So I definitely he looks more cooler, more interesting than he was in the first film. And, you know, I don't know if you saw this in this, I think I may have told you about this, but people, I saw another meme. It says, hey, y'all remember Buzz Lightyear? Do you feel old yet? Here he is now. It's the same color scheme as Buzz Lightyear. Talk about to infinity and beyond. Yeah. Just move on right here to the cast. So like it says, it looks like Vic Mignogna is returning for Broly. And I think everybody is very well. I met Vic Mignogna back in 2010 and everything, and you know, the whole thing about the thing is it hurts his voice to do the character. Vic Mignogna, you know, he's gonna have to dish it out for his vocal cords and everything. I wonder if Vic Mignogna, how does he feel? I don't know how he feels personally, and maybe there's an interview out there that character got so popular. Like, did he do that voice? It was like, I wonder if Vic Mignogna was like, oh, man, that took the crap out of my voice. Good thing this character is just gonna be in about 2 or 3 movies and we're done. I doubt he'll get that much popular. Oh my, this is gonna follow him for the rest of his life. This character is here to stay. Even if he didn't come back in this movie, Broly's forever here to stay. Oh man, I always wondered that about it, but Vic Mignogna is incredible, I thought, as Broly. In the Japanese version, Ben Shimada is returning as Broly, so that's going to be interesting. Bulma is going to be voiced for the first time in the series. Rest in peace to Hiromi Suru. Aya Hisakawa, she's going to be coming in and do Broly. And of course, you got, you know, Masako Nozawa, Ryu Horikawa, and Ryusei Nakaho all coming in as Frieza, Vegeta, and Goku. In the English dub, you got, of course, Sean Schimmel coming back as Son Goku. Goku, Christopher Savage as Vegeta, Jason Douglas as Beerus. But here was really, and we have got to give this man his dedication and passion. It has been confirmed. Chris Aries is returning as Frieza for this film. And he was in, and Chris Savage put him over huge, as he deserves to be. This man is running on 15% lung capacity and still is so dedicated to come in and do the Frieza voice and put in the performance he is, you know, like I said, the whole part of the movie where he's like, what the? His power level is magnificent. Man. Much respect to Chris Aries, because, you know, he's been dealing with health issues, and like I said, he's running on 15% lung capacity right now, and yet the man is still dedicated to come in there and put in the effort for Frieza. You know, and the whole fandom of Dragon Ball has really bonded together and helping raise the money, you know, he needs for the transplant that he needs, you know, as Chris Aries is on the road to you know, recovering and getting better. So it's really cool to see Chris Aries be able to make that dedication and come in there, and Funimation work things out to where they be able to get this done. So definitely looking forward to Chris Aries. I mean, shoot, man, what is your thoughts on that? Linux, in terms of Chris Aries, the dedication this man has to be running on 15% lung capacity and still coming in to play as Frieza in this movie, because he cares about the consistency of the movie and having those voices so much. Man, my hat goes off to the guy. Incredible. Much respect.
Much respect? That man said, I'm gonna die in this booth.
Chris, man, I hope Chris Aries.
He pulled a Ric Flair. Yo, I'ma die in this ring. My man Chris Aries said, I'ma die in this booth.
He's literally putting his life on the line, you know, for this.
Literally.
Much respect, but definitely I hope Chris Aries gets better, and I want Chris Aries to stay around, you know, for his wonderful cat. He has a wonderful Sphinx cat and everything. I know a lot of people like to call Beerus and everything, but he doesn't see his cat as Beerus and everything. So you know, I always like to.
Hopefully, it's not purple.
No, the cat's not purple. You know, and he has a wonderful girlfriend that has been by his side and really, you know, really helping to get him better. So, you know, much respect and love to Chris Aries and to the entire voice cast. And Akira Toriyama, what can we say? Akira Toriyama putting this much effort in 2018 into Dragon Ball, you know, for all the Super, it was just, you know, he wrote, like, literally, this is what we're going from. I don't know if you know this, in Resurrection F, he just wrote, it leaked the manuscript. He literally just wrote few notes, like it's like literally something along the lines of Frieza shows up, goes to his new golden form, Goku goes to his new Super Saiyan blue form, they fight, and I hope the animators do a good job at animating it, and that was it. That's what he gave, and then they had to fill in the blanks for the remaining of the animation. That's literally how Toriyama wrote this. But this one, the screenplay is done by Toriyama. He's wrote this a year in advance. He looked at the movie, so I'm very interested in seeing. This obviously really motivated Toriyama, so we're getting more out of this. Before we wrap up here, one thing that we didn't cover that I feel we have to see in this film, we've got to get Kel and Broly in a scene together.
No.
Oh my gosh, because that was what was so shocking. Like I literally mentioned this in the art character design discussion video that I did with Matt Dillingham, and what we mentioned was, we were talking during the Kel portion, is like, you know, Kel was, because Toriyama was never going to bring Broly into the official continuity of Dragon Ball, Kel was the next best bet they could do. Yet here he is, he's brought Broly in. So it's like, wow, you know, Kel's whole reason for existing was basically to kind of satisfy the Broly fans. Now we got Broly and we've got Kel. We've got to get Berserk Kel versus Berserk or legendary Super Saiyajin Broly in this. So yeah, but I don't know if they're gonna put it, like I said, if Broly, and I think Broly's sticking around, this might be something they say for later, because I'm interested we will get to see the universe are 6 Saiyans, and if we'll get to see Sadala, but they might save all this for later after the Broly movie. Now, did you just say no, if I heard you right, Linux? Do you not want to see Kel and Broly in this movie?
No.
Why?
No.
Why?
No. She's just a girl. No. Leave her alone.
Wow. You gotta go there.
Leave her in Universe 6. Leave her in Universe 6.
Why did you not like the Kel? Did you not like the Kel character?
I did. Just I don't want her and Broly to meet. That's fine.
They've got to meet. They've got to meet now. Just like if they ever make Cooler a part of the official story, we've got to have Cooler and Frieza meet. Hey, dude, I will.
No, forget that. We gotta have Cooler and Vegeta meet. That needs to happen.
Okay. Oh, you just want to see Cooler punch Vegeta in the background again. Vegeta come back in and gets punched again. Oh man. Hey.
Oh my God. He gets the Goku treatment. Hello.
But hey, the thing is, this would be a good twist. What if Cooler ends up being related to Frost and comes over to Frieza? I still want to see a Frieza Frost. That'd be really cool to make it.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, I would love to see it.
Introduced all these possibilities with these new universes.
Yeah, man, and let's go there. Did you see the meme where it showed the stick figures and they put Goku, Vegeta, and Toriyama's head? Like, they have Toriyama's head on the stick figures. He's like, hello, this is Dragon Ball Super, where you have tons of new universes to explore and new characters. And then Broly comes in the next frame, and then he pushes Frieza in the third frame and says, nah, just kidding. Here's Broly. Enjoy all the fan service. And he walks out. That's essentially what this is. This movie it's fan service. That's what this movie is. And yeah, because let's face it, I'll be honest, I didn't really need Frieza to come back. I didn't need Broly to come back. I didn't even need Trunks to come back. I wanted to move forward with new characters, new stories, and see the new universes. But it is what it is, and we're making the most of it. So like I said, they've at least rectified Frieza coming back. I think he's going to make a better Broly, so yeah, hopefully we move forward after this to the end of Z. Hopefully, I'm really hoping. Before we wrap up here, Linux, do you, after this movie, because I know you said you would refrain talking about Son Goku and Oob until after you see this movie, and then you'll go from there, but after this movie, because there's very little in this movie that seems it's going to move forward to the future. It feels more like it's to let us know more about the past and bring Broly into the character, but I can't really see so much of what this movie really, like, it might be something in the movie that sets up for the future term, but like, I just don't see where this is good fan service, but I don't see a lot in this movie that really moves us forward towards the end of Z, and really moving past into that next generation.
Part of me feels like with all the nonsense that's been happening around Majin Buu, that has something to do with the creation of Oob.
But hey,
no, I'm serious. Like, I've been thinking about this because I'm like, why, like, as of now, is Buu having a sleeping problem? Like, it just seems weird. You know what I mean?
Because they wanted to write him out. I heard that he would have been too much of a hack for the Tournament of Power. Turn everybody into chocolate and kick them off the stage. Done.
Yeah.
But technically, I mean, in the end, did that really matter? Like I said, Jiren, Toppo, Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, 17, everybody that made it to the finals could have just did one big power-up shockwave, eliminate the weak, the strong survive, and duke it out for the next 40 minutes. So really, I like, yeah, Buu would have been a big.
To be fair, Jiren could have ended that entire Tournament of Power with just like a flex of his power. Like,
could have told everybody, Koi.
Let us be
just
honest.
Kidding.
Like, let us be honest. That tournament would have been done. He could have one-shot Analyzer when he was fighting the Z Warriors.
Yeah.
Because he smacked that blast out the way with literally the greatest of ease.
And I feel that's what it's going to be like in this movie. Like, like I feel like Beerus and Whis are gonna be, because we know Broly ain't stepped from what we've seen in the trailer. Broly ain't stepping to Beerus, because Beerus would one-shot him. So that's the thing about this. Like once again we further have to keep Beerus and Whis, and that's what I want. I want to get to a villain that's gonna challenge Whis and Beerus and Zeno. That's where I want to.
I don't think you're getting to a villain that's gonna challenge Whis.
I want to get that. Let's see what Whis is really got. You know, instead we keep limiting all these villains to Goku and Vegeta's level, and these more powerful hierarchy gods keep just sitting on the sidelines, and we know they can kill them. But maybe unlike
maybe unlike this is beyond us.
Yeah, so
we are the gods. You duke it out.
But you know, hey, let's get real here though. I'm gonna end this like this. I'm gonna end this discussion on this terms. So based on what we know, Broly might end up killing Goku and Vegeta in this film, and then Whis comes in and resurrects them back, because they introduced that for a reason.
I would be so
Or
pissed.
hey, maybe Broly does the unthinkable. Maybe he wipes out the entire, maybe he comes close to wiping out the entire multiverse, because what we know is if Broly gets past Son Goku, a flick of the button,
Beerus
and Zeno shows up and wipes it all out. But we gotta remember, Zeno is really cool with Goku after that performance. I said this moving forward in the Dragon Ball, we can't deny this, and we gotta remember this. I know we all are getting hyped. We're all ready for this new movie, but let's not forget, at the Tournament of Power, Goku is boys with Beerus. He's boys with Whis. He's boys with Zeno. Might as well make him boys with the Grand Priest, because Grand Priest is boys.
He's friends. I'm about to say, hold on, wait. Let's put this into real perspective. He is boys with Beerus. He's a student of Whis. And this man happens to be best friends with Zeno.
Whis was like a proud mother when he saw Goku reach Migate no Goku. He saw
That's
how
what
he
I
was
said. He's a student, and he's a student of Whis.
They love all that food,
Whis treats him like he treats Beerus.
It's like they're becoming family.
And
obviously we know Zeno
like he treats Beerus,
and Zeno, he adores Goku. So, dude, that's the thing. That's
his best friend.
Yeah, but that whole ending of the Zamasu arc, what that said is literally, like I said, the greatest strength. The greatest feat we have ever seen in Dragon Ball is Zamasu taking over the entire multiverse, and the only thing that outdid that was Zeno wiping it out. So we know if Broly gets past Goku and Vegeta, we know Whis can turn back time. We know Whis can go ahead and now resurrect them. We know Zeno can wipe out anything. That's the thing that kills the tension in this series. So it's
and Beerus hasn't even remotely come close to using 100% of his real power.
We've only seen mostly in the manga, so it's like, how far is Broly gonna get? Even if Broly gets past Goku and Vegeta, we very well could see them get killed here and everything, and then out of nowhere, it could be like Fakatsu no F when Frieza blew up the planet. It's like, holy crap, he did that, but how's this gonna work into the ending of DBZ? As long as he did it within
30 minutes, I could wind it back.
Or now he can resurrect. Maybe they'll introduce Whis has some other new power, like, you know, Goku, not only do I have the ability to bring someone back to life, but I can also bring them back with a power level even greater than the one that destroyed them. To be honest, Whis, I don't like winning with power that I didn't attain on my own. But right now, it's the fastest way for me to get back to life and defeat Broly. So do it, Whis. Bring me back with more power, even greater than Broly! Oh my gosh, dude. It feels like they're with Whis. They keep finding more and more ways to suck the tension out of this series. Oh my gosh. I know you're like, don't give him ideas.
Goku has the ultimate I win button in 3 people. He literally has Beerus, who can just destroy everything, as proven by Whis, because it can destroy ghosts. So you don't even have to be alive for him to get rid of you. Whis, who is not only just stronger than Beerus, can bring people back from the dead and rewind time. And Zeno, who literally with a flick of the wrist can make hits so you never existed to begin with.
Yeah, man. So Broly's odds in this film because of who Goku knows and anyone moving forward, unless we get villains that are finally stronger than these gods. What can you say?
Introduce some devil characters. I need a counterbalance to these gods of destruction.
Well, if you listen to the Dragon Ball, follow the Dragon Ball superheroes manga, and I don't know if they'll do it in the anime because it's just promotional material. They actually have the whole lore of the demon realm, like Dabura, and you have known as Dabura in the Funimation version, and then of course his sister Toa and Mira. I would love to see those characters also be added.
I'm about to say Toa is swole. Like seriously, make him canon. Toa is swole.
No, that's Mira you're thinking of. Mira's the guy. Toa is
the girl.
Yeah, she's Dabura's sister and everything. And the creator, I don't know. Yeah, I think he didn't play Xenoverse 2 because obviously, she created Mira.
No. Mira needs to be canon. That character is swole.
Yeah, I like the whole idea of the time patrol and everything. That's something that I think could easily really fit into the series, and it all originated from Dragon Ball Online, which was supposed to be 100, 200 years after Dragon Ball, the Dragon Ball Z series ended. So we could very well see that all become part of that. But I'll end just to move forward. Where do you want to see moving forward after this movie? Do you want to see them finally surpass Z and we finally get to where? Because that's the thing. We know Goku and Vegeta are how much of a threat. This takes place before the ending of Z. Everything that takes place before the ending of Z, it just sits there and be like, oh, okay, we know everybody's gonna be okay because at the end of Z, everybody's doing fine and dandy, and hey, it's just gonna up the scaling power of Oob even more and stuff like that. But where do you want? Do you want to see the franchise continue, and do you want to see them get past this fan service and continue focusing on new characters?
I want this to extend past Z and be a prequel to whatever we want to call it, whether it be the canon Dragon Ball GT or whatever Toriyama wants to call it. Because I definitely don't want. I want Oob to kind of fit into Super, but I don't want him to be the end of it.
Right.
Because I feel like you almost cap kind of what you can do based off of where Z left off. You see what I mean? So, I feel like probably after this point, I think Goku's at a healthy point to where, the next world tournament should happen after this, and then Super still continue.
Right. Definitely, yeah. And we gotta see more why Goku is so excited to face Oob with all these tremendous god level tier characters. If the whole idea was that he didn't have a real good fight until ever since Kid Buu, well, shoot, Goku has definitely got his literally multiverse battles of gods and everything. And it's like, who cares about Kid Buu at this point in terms of why would he care? So we got to see that, and we'll end with the release dates. We know December 14th is when it launches in Japan. However, in North American theaters, it will be released 3 weeks after, I believe, in I think
January 2019.
Yeah, January 2019. Look how far we have come here, because Battle of Gods, I think, didn't get released in America until, because Battle of Gods came out in 2013. We didn't get it until 2 years later, 2015. And then we got Resurrection F just several months after the release. Now we're getting this 3 weeks after, not even a month after. So much to the point they have dubbed this movie before the remaining Tournament of Power, which I think is going to run through until next November in 2019. So if you are watching only the Funimation dub on Toonami, definitely I recommend checking out the Japanese version, so that way, and the subtitle versions, the subs for the Japanese version, so that way you're not wondering what the heck is going on. This is gonna be very interesting because I am following the Funimation dub, and they're on those episodes right now before the few episodes before they kick into high gear with the Tournament of Power. So hearing Goku just mention Tournament of Power and things like Jiren in the dub when we haven't even got there is going to be really interesting. But I'm really happy for the franchise. Dragon Ball, and we know Resurrection F was the highest grossing anime movie, I think, of all time, especially in America. So I think this movie is going to do big business. I hope it gets a full theatrical release instead of select theaters, but I know we will definitely be there. Dude, are you hyped? We are getting this way sooner than we ever thought possible.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
It's
yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. So yeah, the hype train is real. I'm just really hoping Toriyama knocks it out of the park. If this story knocks it out of the park, on top of how great the animation is, I think right now all the pieces are in place for this to truly be the greatest Dragon Ball movie of all time, and I think Zamasu leaves a lot of room open for Broly to become instantly the best villain in Dragon Ball Super. So definitely, that being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this 2-hour plus audio discussion about everything we know in terms of Dragon Ball Super, the movie, Broly, and everything moving forward, as we speculated what this means for the series moving forward. Of course, Linux and I will definitely be back with more Dragon Ball discussions down the line, especially as we probably get closer to the release of this. So before we head out, Linux, the floor is yours for plugs.
Well, guys, it's been fun. If you want to keep up with anything, Dragon Ball related, anime related, or just want to say hey or see how I'm doing in gaming, hit me up at TheLinuxVirus on Twitter. Subscribe to my YouTube at TheLinuxVirus. And that'll be it.
All right, and that's it. I will end right here with my plugs. So if you obviously are a fan of Dragon Ball, shonen manga, or anime adapted from shonen manga, make sure to check out my upcoming short film, Battle of Deception, as it's based on those types of genres. I currently have lots of videos such as the teaser trailer and the behind-the-scene interview videos right here on my channel, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified as soon as I release more content regarding Battle of Deception, Dragon Ball, and even WWE if you are a professional wrestling fan. And make sure to like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter and Instagram, both at SONGOSHUAKU. All links will be in the description below. Take care!